Anna Maria Island is quiet. No three-story high-rises, no chaotic spring break strips. Just 7 miles of gentle Gulf waves and uncrowded sand. But staying on the shoreline means you are only seeing a fraction of what makes this place special. To really understand the island, you have to leave the dry land behind. That is where a pontoon boat rental comes in. Think of it as a floating living room, granting total access to the coast, letting you explore hidden sandbars and state parks you cannot walk to. Here's the catch. Leaving the stress-free beach means someone in your group has to put down their drink, step up, and take the wheel. Getting out to the sandbars requires a mental shift. You have to trade the role of passive vacationer for active captain. This comparison table breaks down the choice. A dry land vacation costs $0 and requires almost zero effort. A half-day pontoon rental starts at $500 and demands a moderate level of effort. As you see, this premium price tag brings real responsibilities. For parents managing young kids, stepping into the captain's role can trigger immediate anxiety. If you have never driven a boat, the fears pile up quickly, keeping everyone safe on water, hauling all the necessary gear, and maneuvering an unfamiliar vessel. So let's run a reality check. We are going to strip away the marketing fantasy of a seamless boating day and look exactly at the logistical effort required to pull it off. Deciding if that $500 trade-off makes sense comes down to understanding the work you have to do before you ever turn the key in the ignition. The brochure makes it look easy. You show up at the marina, grab the keys, and set sail into the sunshine. This flowchart shows how your morning actually unfolds, beginning with a mandatory safety orientation. As the pre-launch block expands, you see 3 crucial things to learn: reading local navigation markers, operating the vessel's controls, and locating underwater hazards. This means whoever is driving needs to arrive early, stay completely sober, and give the dock staff their undivided attention. Once the captain is trained, you hit the second logistical hurdle. Packing for an exposed marine environment is a much heavier lift than packing for the hotel pool. To prevent mid-trip meltdowns, you need to load the deck with reef-safe sunscreen, hats, extra towels, heavy snacks, and far more water than you think your family will drink. Gathering and hauling these supplies from your rental property to the dock significantly increases the morning workload for parents. But treating this morning prep and orientation as an active, mandatory investment is exactly what guarantees a smooth, relaxing afternoon out on the water. Once you finally leave the dock, you have a choice to make. You can head for the historic outer islands, or you can stick to the shallow inner sandbars. Many visitors want to head straight for Egmont Key, a state park that you can only reach by watercraft. The reward is clear. You get to explore untouched beaches and walk up to landmarks like this white lighthouse dating back to the 19th century. The trade-off is time. Navigating the open water to reach the key takes a while, which significantly eats into a 4-hour half-day rental window. If you prefer not to spend your rental window in transit, you can opt for the immediate, sheltered accessibility of local spots like Jewfish Key. These local sandbars offer calm, clear water over a shallow sandy bottom. They function as secure, waist-deep swimming pools, perfect for toddlers and safe shelling. However, enjoying these spots requires a technical skill. The captain has to actively learn and execute basic anchoring techniques. Getting the anchor set securely in the sand is the single most important step. Once it holds, the captain can turn off the engine, and the parents can actually relax. Your family's level of exclusive access is directly dictated by the captain's willingness to navigate the distances and master the anchor. There is one more major draw. Most tourists expect to spend the afternoon playfully cruising alongside pods of dolphins or local manatees. The reality of wildlife encounters on the Florida Gulf Coast is governed by strict, legally enforced rules. To protect the ecosystem and avoid heavy financial penalties, boaters are required to maintain a mandatory safe distance from all marine mammals. Operationally, this means you cannot chase the animals for a photograph. If you spot a pod, you have to cut the engine and let them approach you on their terms. Successful sightings require patience from the kids and active stationary scanning from the captain, rather than high-speed voting. Trading the Gulf as a protected wildlife refuge rather than an interactive petting zoo guarantees your trip stays safe, stress-free, and legally compliant. We return to the central question. Is the upfront cost and the logistical effort truly worth the outcome for your family? This decision scorecard lays out exactly what you need for a successful pontoon day. First, someone in your group must be willing to step up as a sober, responsible captain, rather than remaining a passive passenger. Second, you need a budget of $500 allocated for a premium, private experience. And third, your group should be actively seeking out hidden sandbars and wildlife, rather than looking for a resort-style catered service. If your group wants entirely passive relaxation, is on a strict vacation budget, or if you are looking for a heavy party excursion, you should skip the rental and stay on the public beach. But if you are just feeling anxious because you are a beginner, take a breath. The waters around Anna Maria Island are famously forgiving, and the morning orientation is specifically designed to get novices comfortably off the dock. When a family takes on the crucial role of preparation and captaining, the pontoon rental overcomes the initial upfront effort. It becomes a way to find private spots on the Gulf that are simply inaccessible from the shore.